Today, in our notes, we are going to discuss the properties of numbers. You've gone over many of these many times. It is really important that you learn them. So today we're going to start with commutative and associative properties. They essentially give us permission to rewrite addition and multiplication problems in different orders than what's normally given. So give an example that shows that subtraction is not commutative. So commutative property again means that order doesn't matter. So an example of the commutative property is 3 plus 5 is equal to 5 plus 3. However, if I switch that to subtraction, 3 minus 5 equals negative 2 versus 5 minus 3 equals positive 2. So those are not equal. So that is just one example. There are many. Even though subtraction is not commutative, we should remember that subtraction can always be made into adding the opposites. So if we think of our original problem as 3 minus 5 is 3 plus negative 5, that is commutative because 3 plus negative 5 is negative 2, and negative 5 plus 3 is also negative 2. So exercise number 2. Change the following expression involving addition and subtraction into one only involving addition. Then use the commutative associative properties to quickly determine the value. So again, first thing I want to do is I want to change all the subtraction to adding the opposite. So 7 minus 3 becomes 7 plus negative 3 plus 8. Minus 2 becomes plus negative 2. Minus 6 becomes plus negative 6, plus 1, and then minus and negative 3 is just plus 3. So there is using our adding the opposite. Now the idea is I want to use commutative and associative to make this problem simpler. So to make this problem simpler, I'm going to kind of look to see, do I have any opposites? And I do, in that I have negative 3 and positive 3. So I'm going to rearrange it to be 3 plus negative 3. And then do I have anything else here that maybe makes anything easier? Upon quick look, I don't really see anything. So I'm just going to put the negatives together and then put the positives together. So to continue with my negatives, I have negative 2 plus negative 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 1. Now that's using commutative property where I rearrange. Now I'm going to use associative where I'm going to group the 3 and negative 3 together. And then I'm going to group my negatives together. I'm going to group my positives together. And then 3 plus negative 3, that's 0. Negative 2 plus negative 6 is negative 8. But maybe I didn't want to do that last grouping here. So I'm going to go undo that. And then use this commutative again and make that be plus 8 plus 7 plus 1 is 8. So I added those. And now if I use the associative again, I can group the 8 and the negative 8. So I have 0 plus 0 plus 8, and my answer is 8. That's using the associative and commutative properties to make the problem simpler. We should be able to now extend the commutative and associative properties for numbers we know to numbers we don't know, variables. One of the very nice ways to illustrate the usefulness of these properties is combining two or more expressions. You may recall that this is referred to as combining like terms. So here, what we're going to group together is the 5x and the 2x. When we combine, add 7x. 5 apples plus 2 apples is 7 apples. Here, again, we're looking at the 7x and the negative 3x. They're like terms. They have the same variable, so we just add the coefficients. 7 plus negative 3 is 4x. And then negative 8x plus negative 2x. Again, those are like terms, so we add the coefficients, negative 10, and it's negative 10x. Reminder, with lots of these examples, you should try your own. Come back, look at mine. The last three of the major properties combines addition and multiplication. It's the distributive property. So distributive property, you may have learned, is where you take the number on the outside, multiply everything. So if we're doing 4 times 15, that means 15 times 4. Using the commutative property, 4 times 15 is 4 times 5 is 20. Carry the 2. 4 times 1 is 4 plus 20 is 60. So if we want to use it, the distributive property, we can break 10 and 5. That equals 15. So we broke 15 into 10 and 5. So now if we distribute, we do 4 times 10, which is 40, plus 4 times 5, which is 20, which gives us 60. Exercise number 2, evaluate each product by using the distributive property and make it easier. So we're going to express 18 as a subtraction. Don't use a calculator. That's just a hint. So here we're going to do 7, and we're going to break 23 into 20 plus 3. Then we distribute. 7 times 20 is 140, plus 7 times 3 is 21. That equals 161. So our hint is to make 18 using subtraction. So that's going to be 9 parentheses 20 minus 2. So 9 times 20 is 180. 9 minus times negative 2 is negative 18. And then we subtract and we get 162. Exercise 3, distributive property can be used twice in order to multiply 2 digits. For examples, 12 times 28, 10 plus 2 times 20 plus 8. Show each step. So here we're doing what's called a double distribute. So we're going to have 10 plus 2 times 20 plus 8. And we're doing a double distribute in that I'm going to distribute the 10. So 10 plus times 20 is 200. Plus 10 times 8 is 80. Plus 2 times 20 is 40. Plus 2 times 8 is 16. And then we add those all together. So 6, 13. 1 plus 4 is 5, plus 8 is 13. Carry the 1, so it's 336. And this seems kind of silly, but that's one way you can do those in your head. It's also going to be more useful when we're looking at variables. So we're going to express each using as a binomial. Binomial means 2 terms. And show each step. So we're going to do the same thing where we're going to do 5 times 2x, which is 10x. Plus 5 times 3 is 15. And then letter B, we're going to do negative 4 times 5x, which is negative 20x. Remember, this is really plus negative 8 here, this minus, so it's negative 4 times negative 8, which is plus 32. X times x is x squared, plus x times 4 is 4x. 5x times 2 is 10x. Minus 35x squared. Distributive property works for division as well. As you can see in the following, expressed each of the following quotients as a binomial. Quotients, division. Binomial, again, 2 terms. So your calculations. So really what we're doing here, because our dividend is a monomial or 1 term, we're going to divide each term in the numerator by the denominator. So 8x divided by 2 is 4x, plus 4 divided by 2 is 2. Same thing here. 25x divided by 5 is 5x, minus 50 divided by 5 is 10. 2x divided by 4 is 0.5x, or 1/2x, minus because it's negative 16 divided by 4 is negative 4. Negative 9x divided by 12 is negative 0.75x. Positive 18 divided by 12 is plus 1.5. So here's your additional practice. Again, this is what I want you to work on in class. Also, I forgot to show us at the beginning, but if we scroll back to the beginning of today's notes, I am showing you the answers to yesterday's classwork / homework. So number 1 was 10, B is 9, C is 12, 2 is 8, 2B is negative 3. Be careful when you're squaring that negative 2. It has to be in parentheses. Letter C is 1. Number 3A is $425. 3B is $2,603.16. 4A is 33. 4B is negative 18. And the difference here is the parentheses. Negative 5 in parentheses squared is 25. Without the parentheses, it's negative 25. 5, the error is 9 minus 2 times 0. That does not equal 7 times 0. You have to use the order of operations, so you would multiply 2 times 0 first and then subtract 9 minus 0. 6A is 320 rubber bands. B is 14 pieces per box. C is 42 miles per hour. And D is 2,000. So again, please watch this, take notes. If you have any questions, bring them to class.